NartOutHere showing off Sangal's fast mid control on Ancient. Sangal have two players in spawn throwing mid nades. House gets smoked from the start, and Connector is smoked off when Sangal players are near door. Then both players in spawn will flash their teammates out into mid from opposite sides in order to cover a wider range. The Sangal players who went through door will rush out to lane to mid by smoking off Cheetah and Anonymo's molly. Meanwhile, towards elbow, that player will come out when his teammates are out window, pinching on mid from both sides. ngiN will get the kill into Snax, and Anonymo players will fall back behind the tunnel smokes. They tried smoking in front of tunnel to get them space to work around, however they got flashed and fell back. They boost to look over the smoke and don't find anything. After the smokes fade, the Anonymo players swing and kill the two Sangal players. Then Paz catches Key falling back, and towards Cheetah, Innocent is heard falling back, and imoRR tries to hunt him down, however gets killed. I'm not going to fully show the rest of the round here because it does come down to a 3v3 situation that Sangal will win. Now the only issue I have here is that Sangal uses all their smokes for mid control, and we don't get to see what they do next had they had an uncontested mid. By having mid control and then not having any more smokes will make it hard for them definitely to take a site. My recommendation is to figure out what smokes you can hold off on throwing, like the elbow smoke. Maybe don't smoke Cheetah or put out the lane molly. This is something you should talk about with your team and figure out, because ideally you want to have at least 2 smokes up after mid control in order to execute a site. Since he smokes house at the start, he will get in front of this left rock, aim at this part of the branch, walk 1 step forward, then jump throw. Since he will go back to the buy zone to purchase a nade, then sets up to throw 2 mid flashes from the left wall. He will jump throw both flashes right before his teammates come out mid. Then Cincy goes elbow to mid, where he nades house and then picks up the A flank. Major will smoke tunnels when his teammates get near door. He stands next to the B, aims at this part of the line, then jump throw. Afterwards, he too will flash his teammates out mid. After flashing, Major will go through the doors and lurks onto the B-bomb site. Major takes initiative in doing so when Sangal gets info that there's a lot of CTs mid, as well as Innocent was in cave. Paz rushes door to mid where he flashes ramp first and smokes Cheetah. He goes around his smoke to window and he gets flashed out to mid. He will get spammed through the smoke from tunnels and he returns fire. Paz goes up to Cubby and switches for Snax's op since he is low HP. Paz will then return to elbow and he holds mid. He kills Key as he falls back, then remains at elbow till his team makes a decision in a 3v3. imoRR is the other player rushing out mid from B. He flashes ramp as well as he puts out Innocent's lane molly, which I'll show the Anonymo players' POVs after the Sangal players. He holds for a smoke push from Cheetah, then makes his way back out to mid where he remains window. ngiN kills Snax and they force the other CTs back. imoRR redirects his attention to lane and Cheetah as there was a player who showed presence from cave earlier. He hears Innocent try to fall back but peeks but loses the duel. ngiN goes towards yard and flashes A main. If he had a molly he could throw that instead to delay the push. Afterwards he waits elbow for his B teammates. He wants to come out mid at the same time they do, so he will smoke out Anonymo's molly and come out where he kills Snax Cubby. Then he gets behind Xbox and he dies to key tunnels after the smokes fade. Let's take a look at some of the POVs from the Anonymo players. Innocent is a solo player towards B, he mollies lane, and I'll let this play in real time. Now let's take a look at the lineup. He is on this wall to the left, aims a little left to this corner, runs 1 step and jump throw. This molly is really good as it lands before the T's can go up lane. You can get info if they smoke it, meaning potentially they can be there. Innocent gets into Cheetah before the T's can cross. Important to note this, so this is why Sangal smoke him out. He will then nade and spray through the smoke, then sits in the smoke as it fades. Once the smoke fades, he does not see anyone, and then he makes some noise falling back. imoRR peeks off of this, and he kills imoRR. Innocent also has an idea from this point that there could be a lurker somewhere, and you can see on the radar that Major has already made it onto the B site, which I'm not going to show the rest of the round here. So that's my main concern with Innocent playing this aggressive inside Cheetah, is that you're leaving ramp exposed and no one picks it up. Snax the operator plays house and he gets smoked out. He comes through where he mollies deep elbow and repositions Cubby. He gets flashed, then repeaks and dies. Mynio comes out mid and mollies deep elbow. I don't know if this was necessary where you need to molly close and far elbow. Seems like it could have been a waste of nades. Afterwards, he will nade lane after getting info from Innocent that there could be players going up to window. The tunnel smoke comes in from Sangal and mynio throws a forward smoke to give them space to play behind it. Mynio gets flashed and he sprays window, tagging up some of the Sangal players. Then he falls back behind the smoke and he boosts his teammates to peek over the tunnel smoke. They're not going to get a kill with the boost, and as the smoke fades, him and his teammate dry peek mid for info. Key gets a kill and he tries falling back but gets killed. Mynio comes out and tries to trade, however Paz falls back, and then Mynio repositions house. Key is the third mid player for Anonymo and he mollies and nades elbow at the start. I think if you're dedicating this many players and nades mid as a CT, you should go aggressive. I think him and Mynio should have pushed up to mid and played close. Miscommunication and misplay here as he decides to throw his own defensive smoke in the same position as Mynio. He tries coming past the tunnel smoke, but when he does he gets flashed and he falls back behind it. He'll get boosted over the smoke and he doesn't spot anyone, and when the smokes fade he dry peeks and kills engine. He makes the mistake of trying to reposition house and gets killed from Paz. The last CT Kylar, who's solo A, he's gonna molly and nade A main at the start, then he falls back to temple. He smokes main, and then from A he can support mid with flashes through the skybox if need be. To wrap up, Sangal dedicate all 5 players to get fast pick control, and they use a lot of resources doing so. If there was no recon or molly from Snax, Engine still has a smoke left from elbow, which still leaves Sangal with only 1 smoke for the round. The biggest takeaway here is that what do you want to do with mid control after getting it, and if you do plan on getting mid control. I'll be going over this in the near future when there are more officials are being played on it. And as for Anonymo, the counter to this was to play close mid, in my opinion, and as you saw they were locked out by playing near tunnels. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Till next time, NartOutHere, peace.